Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Emel Inal Al-Shawa. I'm here today to talk about my husband, Dr. Amir Al-Shawa, who has been forcibly disappeared in the UAE for the past 60 days. We've been married for 22 years, and he's a wonderful person who has such good relationship with anyone he has ever met so far, and he has never been in trouble in all his life. He lived in United States for 17 years, where he did his university studies all the way through PhD, and for the past 14 years we have been living in Turkey, and he has always been a model citizen everywhere he went, a contribution to the society, and asset to every place that he has been to. My husband is a father of 3 children, 3 young adults, ages 19, 17, and 14, who miss him dearly. He's a family man who is so devoted to his mother and his siblings. He's a person who has helped and who never missed to visit his parents. He always helped travelers, whoever comes to Turkey. He was like the hospitality committee for them. We just don't understand what has been going on. There has been no explanations despite our several attempts through different channels, diplomatic channels, human rights organization channels, lawyers, Turkish lawyers, and appealing to the ministries like the Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the UAE, asking for an explanation, asking for his whereabouts, asking for his health, and we simply do not get any answer to our questions. Since his disappearance on October 2nd, I filed complaints to United Nations Human Rights Higher Commission, International Red Cross, allegation of arrest. I filed a form for them. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and several organizations in the Middle East, in the Gulf area, and several human rights organizations in Turkey. Let me tell you a little bit about why we went to United Arab Emirates. My husband's nephew was getting married, and for the occasion of Eid as well, we wanted to spend Eid and attend the wedding and be with the family. So we traveled from Istanbul to Dubai. I traveled a day before with my children, and my husband traveled the next day. We were in the hotel waiting for his arrival on that morning of October 2nd, 2014. His flight arrived around 7 o'clock. And we thought all the while that he must have gone to visit his mother, to visit his sister, and we didn't get suspicious because he has been to UAE many times. The last time being in May to attend the engagement party of his nephew. So we were just calmly waiting in the hotel where he was supposed to come and pick us up with the car that he was going to rent from the airport. Then I got a call from his colleague in Turkey, who told me that he sent a message in the morning upon his arrival that he's being interrogated at the airport, and another message saying that his phones are being confiscated. With that, we got alarmed because it was already like 1:30 p.m. and it's been like several hours since his arrival. So we went to the airport to check up on him, and we were told that he was issued a stamp on his passport and he was given the permission to enter the UAE. And when we told them that he did not come out of the airport, and we're trying to reach him by phone. He had 2 phones, and both of them are off. They told us his phone's charges must have finished, must have been off, and that he must have gone to visit a friend or something. Finally, we were told, after all the insistence, that we can file a claim to report a missing person after 24 hours. The next day, we went to the local police headquarters where they directed us, and they did the routine checkup as to where he might be, like checking the drug rehabilitation centers and hospitals and whatnot. And when all the results came back negative, they told us to go back to the airport and to question there, because they had surveillance cameras where everything would be seen. When we went back to the airport, this time we were told that he was taken by the National Security Agency. In the meantime, from the time that I knew he was missing, I contacted the Dubai Turkish consulate, and they came with me to the airport to question his whereabouts. When we got the information that he was taken by the National Security Agency, the Turkish consular told me to leave the rest to them, since it was already admitted that he is in their hands, and that they will take off from there. In the evening, I got a call from the Turkish consulate informing me that my husband was taken to Abu Dhabi. From then on, the Turkish consulate transferred the case over to the Turkish embassy in Abu Dhabi. But because it was the time of Eid al-Adha, all the offices were closed, so for the next 4 days, we were unable to do anything. We only contacted the Turkish embassy over the phone and checked up on each other to see if there is any kind of new information. On October 8th, in the morning, I went to Abu Dhabi to visit the Turkish embassy. I gave them all the information regarding my husband and his arrival and his background, and they said they will do all the diplomatic they will try all the diplomatic channels to request a visitation and to see where he is and why he is being held. I wrote a petition, I wrote a letter of appeal to Sheikh Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Interior Minister and also the head of the police headquarters, and went to submit my appeal. But first I was refused because the appeal was in English, and they told me the only communication they would receive would be in Arabic. So I had the letter translated and went back to their office. This time they told me that I need a case number. When I went, I was referred to the Criminal Investigation Department, the CID, but my husband's name, nor his passport number, nor the number that he was assigned at the airport, which the police, the airport police had given me, were in their computer system. Finally, I was told if there is no case number, that means there is no case, that means there are no appeals. So I was totally left without any options, and my husband was left without any representation for his legal rights, and I was just not getting anywhere in the UAE, so I came back to Turkey. In the meantime, I filed a form of allegation of arrest with International Red Cross, and I submitted a form of enforced disappearance to United Nations High Commission for Human Rights, and I contacted the International Amnesty Organization, but so far they haven't They have been attempting to get any information regarding my husband's case, but so far there is nothing. We are in regular contact with the Turkish embassy. They are assuring me and affirming that every week they are renewing with a new date their requests, but they are just not getting any responses. In Turkey, I hired a lawyer to follow up with the bureaucratic writing letters and sending them to necessary organizations and ministries and whatnot. And on a regular basis again, they are sending letters to UAE Interior Ministry, Foreign Ministry, Ministry of Justice, and the UAE Consulate in Istanbul and in Ankara. By the way, we requested from the consulate in Istanbul and the embassy in Ankara of the UAE, we requested a meeting, an appointment, but our appointment requests were denied. They did not accept to meet with us. When we made a press release on October 21, 2014, in front of the UAE consulate in Istanbul, they just watched us from the windows, from outside, and when we wanted to give them the press release in written form, they refused at the beginning to even open the door of the security booth to receive the letter. They wanted to take it between the wall and the fence, as if I'm like a potential danger for them or a potential threat. So far it has been, as of today, it has been 60 days since my husband's disappearance, and the only contact we had so far was on October 14 at a very unexpected time from an unknown number, when he called and talked to us for only 5 minutes, and he just gave a rosy picture that he's being treated nice and he's staying in a clean room and he's given access to shower every day. He's even being provided toiletries and stuff, and they're offering coffee and tea in the mornings and evenings, and he's reading Quran, and in a few days they will release him and they're just keeping him for some formalities. That was an exhilarating moment after 13 days of his disappearance, but at the same time it was so disappointing because we still had no idea as to where he was and how his health really was and why he's being kept there, even for formalities for a few days, why he was there. We haven't received any answer to our questions so far, neither official nor non-official. We started a Facebook page, Free Dr. Amir al-Shawa, and we have a Twitter hashtag Free Dr. al-Shawa. So we are using the social media to increase awareness of what is going on in the UAE. I've been to UAE for 2 times, and my first impression was that this is a country that must have solved all its problems. Like, it had so many things you can ask for, especially the first time I went there. My children were young, and you had access to all kinds of child-related educational, scientific facilities where you can take your children and hope that they will reach their full potential if you live there. And I never had the awareness until this happened to us that there is a grim reality behind all these glamorous pictures. The recent article by Amnesty International confirmed my beliefs that there are so many other people who have been detained and forcibly disappeared in the UAE. Basically anyone who wants to use their freedom of expression, or who wants to sincerely make some contribution to the society or improve the society, are just being detained and disappeared. It is very sad that a country like this can assume that they can get cultured by inviting just popular singers and organizing fashion shows, and this is the only way of their cultural development or their contribution to the world. It's very sad that they are not letting people use their exercise their freedom of expression. They're not letting people contribute to the society and make it more advanced, making it an improved society. Up until now, we were reading about people like Libyans who were forcibly disappeared, and Qataris who were forcibly disappeared, and cases where people were tortured, and even for years they were denied their rights to any legal representation. They were not allowed to contact a lawyer, and they were just held without being charged for any crime. And this coming week on December 2nd, which is the National Day for UAE, the President, Khalifa bin Al Nahyan, declared that he's going to pardon, he's going to give amnesty to some prisoners. But just this morning, I was reading on the internet that those people that he's going to give amnesty to do not include prisoners of conscience. So if you commit an ordinary crime, basically you have the chance to be forgiven. But if you're just your ideals, your dreams, or your political inclinations, or basically your ideology is different from the regime, then there is no way for your forgiveness. This was even basically told to us at the first few days when we interfered with some high official locals who chose to remain anonymous, because there's a great fear in the country that whoever helps a case like this, people are afraid for their own life, for their own safety, that they would be forcibly disappeared too. So two high official or two highly connected UAE people told us if my husband had committed murder or had he been involved in a theft or something, he would have been released the next day. But for national security, they apologized and said they will not be able to do anything. Finally, I would like to share with you a petition that we are running online. And I would like your contribution to that, because if we can exert some public pressure on the UAE officials, I believe that would be the only way that they may have some action regarding this matter. Because they're trying to give an image of a tolerant, prosperous, glamorous society that they have created in the Gulf area, and they're trying to hide this grim picture, grim reality underneath the surface. So please, this is a petition that you can sign online through the organization called avaz.org. If you enter the bold letters at the bottom of the page where your internet browser would have the address for, then you will get the picture that you see in this picture, and you will get to see the writing, the text of the petition. The only thing that is required of you would be to enter your email, your first name, your country, and your zip code, and just press sign. I would appeal to you to sign this petition, not just for my husband, for the sake of all those more than 200 individuals who have been forcibly detained or who have been victims of unfair treatment and oppression in the UAE. Let's get together and let's stop this oppression, and let's hope that UAE will become the nation, the shining star of the Gulf that it is supposed to be, with all the blessings and the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over them, and stop this fear-mongering society, and stop this enforced disappearances and unjust treatments to people of prisoners of conscience. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.